here with Rooted in Love Urban Homestead. Thanks for hanging out with me a little bit today. So I wanted to share with you my herbal and tea pantry. Now, as you know, if you've seen some of our videos before, we live in a little bungalow in an urban setting in southeast Tennessee. And so space is a premium at our house. So I had to be creative to come up with a way to store my herbs and my loose leaf teas. So behind me is where I store those things. I have a plant stand that we put together that I put my glass jars on that have my herbs in them and my teas, my loose leaf teas. So I choose to transfer my herbs or teas into glass jars. Now, I use a lot of ginger, so I have purchased a half-gallon glass jar to put my ginger in. You can use any glass jar as long as you wash it really well with hot water, soapy water, let it dry really well, and then you can store your herbs in there. I like to use glass jars for a number of reasons, the most of which is that you can see how much you have left. So I can tell that I've used about half of my jar, and when I'm getting near the end, then I know that I need to go ahead and get some more ginger to produce my teas with. So one thing people say is, well, how do I know what herbs I should purchase or what teas I should purchase to start my herbal pantry? Well, I would say start with those herbs and teas that you use or that you want to use for a remedy or medicinal purposes or because you like the flavor. For instance, if you like English breakfast tea, then I would buy loose leaf English breakfast tea. And let's say you like peppermint. I would buy some peppermint leaves that are dried and then store them and you can use them. If you're like me and space is at a premium, what you don't want to do is just go out and buy a bunch of herbs that you have no idea what you're going to use them for. And then now you've got these herbs and they're taking up space and you may or may not want to use them. So my suggestion would be do some research, think about what you want to use the herbs for, and then purchase those herbs to make those remedies or tinctures. If you want to do an elderberry tincture to help your immune system, then look into buying some dried elderberry. If you want a tincture to lower your blood sugar, then you're going to want to get some dried cinnamon bark to make that tincture with. So just be thoughtful about what herbs you might want to get for your pantry, your herbal pantry, based on what you want to use or what you want to make, because you can always add to it. So this is what my herbal and tea pantry looks like. So let me show you how I have it organized. So in my house, space is a premium. So this is kind of a multi-purpose space. So the cabinet that you see up on the wall is where I keep my tinctures in that I have made. And you'll see a basket there where I keep my watercolors, and I have a couple of plants. And then I keep teas that I put together that I sell. I have an Etsy shop. And then also you see jars of herbs and teas. Now ideally in a pantry you would like things to be in a single row, but I just don't have the luxury of that space, so I have things kind of doubled up. So let me show you how I've organized mine. So here in the middle you see these are half-gallon jars. I have my loose leaf teas in this middle section. I have English breakfast here. I have my gunpowder green tea, I also have cinnamon back there. I have red rooibos tea. I have my cocoa nibs. Here you see some allspice. And there's whole cloves back there. So over here I have a couple of smaller jars. As you see, I have kind of a variety of sizes of jars, but here I have some burdock root and some dandelion root that I use in making some teas and tinctures. My marshmallow root, which is wonderful for tummy and GI issues. I have from Lookout Lavender. I have lavender flowers there. So down on the bottom I have calendula and hyssop and mullein. And here I have some lemon balm. And down on the bottom I have dried elderberries, I have peppermint leaf, I have passion flower leaves. Over on this side I have rose hips and chamomile. Here I have butterfly pea flowers, and they make the most beautiful blue tea. And down here you see some of my books. And down here I have my dried fruit, my lemon peel. So it's really great to have different size jars, because sometimes you may need a little bit of an herb, or you just want to try an herb, so you don't want to buy a whole lot of it. For instance, like this burdock root, I just wanted to try it in something, and so I just have a little bit of it. So it's nice to have these small jars. And then for instance, ginger, I use a lot of ginger. So this is a half-gallon mason jar. And then the allspice is in a smaller jar. So as you see, there's no right or wrong jar to use. You just use what you have and what's available to you. You really want to make sure that no matter what jar you use, you sterilize it well, meaning you wash it with very hot water and soap. And then another key is to make sure that it is completely dry before you put any herbs in there. Because if you put herbs in a jar that is not dried all the way, then your herbs are going to mold. I make several different kinds of tea. All these are on my Etsy shop. Well, I hope this little tour sparked some ideas for you and how you can create your own herbal and tea pantry. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear them. Just put them down below and we'll be happy to answer them. Wishing you the best as you put together your herbal pantry. May all you do be rooted in love. Until next time.